Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Being Misader Kiddushin for a non-religious, non-frum, non-orthodox couple. A relative of yours or a close acquaintance of yours calls you up and asks you, we're getting married soon. Would you like to be the Misader Kiddushin to officiate at our wedding so we have a kosher wedding? And the relative or acquaintance is not an individual who is observant, who keeps Torah and mitzvahs. What should you do? Should you answer, yes, of course, I am willing to do so if you have the credentials? Or is there reason to hesitate and perhaps even decline the offer? This question is especially pertinent to Chabad houses who have Yidden Jews of various affiliations who associate with the Chabad house and view their shliach as their rabbi and would like to honor them with the ability to officiate at their wedding. So seemingly this question to the novice may seem superfluous and strange, as if a Jew is asking you to help them do a mitzvah, why on earth should you decline or hesitate? Shouldn't you readily agree and even encourage them and praise them for making the choice of going through a kosher wedding? You see, the following are the problems that we face in officiating at a wedding of a non-religious couple. There are approximately 7 halachic issues that require halachic clarification, although the most popular issue that is discussed and focused on in the poskim who write about this question is the prohibition of lifnei iver leisitin michshar or messiah ledvar aveir that is involved when a rav marries off a couple who's not frum and thereby will not be keeping Taharas Hamishpacha. It is forbidden for a couple to engage in marital intimacy unless she goes through the process of purification of 7 clean days, immersion in a mikveh, etc. And if one knows that the couple is not going to do so, then perhaps marrying them off and officiating at such a wedding encourages them to do this sin, which is a severe sin, and thereby the Misader Kiddushin himself transgresses the prohibition of lifnei iver leisitin michshar. An additional major issue of the 7 issues we mentioned is regarding, will the couple get divorced according to halacha in the eventuality that a divorce is necessary, which unfortunately in today's generation, especially amongst the secular world, it is a very high chance that a divorce will eventually happen. And by marrying off a couple according to halacha, we end up binding the wife to becoming an Ashes Ish, and if she goes off without a divorce according to halacha, in addition to transgressing Ashes Ish, she can create a population of mamzerim in the world. These are 2 of the major issues that we are faced with when answering the question of whether I can agree or should agree to officiate at a wedding of a non-frum couple. Practically, this question has been addressed by Gdolei Dereinu, the Gdolei HaPoskim of today's generation, and there exists 3 approaches amongst Rabbanim of what to do in such a situation. But before we begin the approaches, let's first clarify that everyone is in agreement that you should try to influence the couple to try to keep Taharas Hamishpacha. Explain to them the beauty of this mitzvah and the importance of this mitzvah in keeping marital intimacy fresh and interesting, and how it helps fight the divorce crisis that the secular world is faced with. And in the event that the couple agrees and says, you're right, we're going to keep Taharas Hamishpacha, then they're no longer considered a non-religious couple. In this regarding this question. And the question is mainly raised when they do not agree, or they will not agree to keep the laws of Taharas Hamishpacha. So the first approach amongst the Rabbanim is that if we suspect that the couple will not keep Taharas Hamishpacha, then it's forbidden to have any involvement in this marriage, and certainly it's usher to officiate at such a wedding, as by doing so you are becoming an accomplice of the sinful intimacy that will take place afterward, and you transgress lifnei iver leisitin michshar, as well as the Isser of Leisanif and other Isurim. So is the implied ruling of the Zera MS in volume 2, Yerodea 106, recorded in the Darkei Tshuva, Shara Motzion Belach 147.5. So is the director of the Chazon Ish, who stated that it is cruelty in this matter is considered mercy, as marriage with a stumbling block of a Kares prohibition is similar to marrying off a brother to a sister, and one who assists in doing so is causing them to receive Kares. Of Moshe Sternbuch in Tshuvas Vanhagas 1476, in volume 2, 644, and other Tshuvas likewise writes that one is not allowed to marry off a non-religious couple for these reasons and other reasons as well. This ruling is based on the ruling of the Raman, Shulchanaruchharav, and Even Ezra 26 halacha 1. We are meant to break up a union of a couple. If the couple is not keeping Taharas Hamishpacha, then certainly how can we bring them together and marry them off? We find a similar directive by the Rebbe Rayatz brought in Igros Kodesh of the Rebbe Rayatz, in which he wrote to a certain individual that if the girl you were writing about refused to keep Taharas Hamishpacha with a kosher mikvah, then if she does not regret her evil ways, the mother needs to tell her she will not bless her on the day of the wedding and she will not participate in the wedding, and she should follow through with her promise. End quote of the letter of the Rebbe Rayatz. A second approach to this issue among some Rabbanim, especially in Eretz Yisrael, is to agree to officiate at the wedding, however to purposely pick invalid witnesses for the testimony of the Kiddushin, thereby making the Kiddushin not kosher. The reason they do so is because they don't want to take a chance of binding the couple into a halachic marriage and turning the wife into an Eshes Ish, which would then cause a proliferation of mamzerim if the wife does not go and get a get in the case of separation. The third and more popular approach amongst Rabbanim, and this is practically the directive followed today, is to agree to officiate at such a wedding and to do so in a fully kosher manner, turning them into a halachic husband and wife, although on condition that the Kala agrees to immerse in the mikveh at the very least for the night of the wedding. So on the night of the wedding she is tahar, and at that moment there's no Isser that will take place. Who rules this way? So rules the Meishiv Davar, the Chalkas Yaim, give the Minchas Yitzchak, Sridei Eish, and so is the practical directive of the Rabbanut Harishit Yisrael in Eretz Yisrael. They require the Kala to have received a slip from a Kala teacher that she learned the halachas and toivled for the night of the wedding, and only then do they agree to officiate at the wedding. Now, how do these poskim get out of all the issues we brought up? So their argument is as follows. Halachically, after analyzing the bylaws of Lifnei Iver, the case of marrying off a couple who won't keep Taharas Hamishpacha does not transgress Lifnei Iver. And they bring a variety of reasons of why it doesn't transgress Lifnei Iver, even if in truth there is some measure of encouragement for them to be together by you officiating at the wedding. Now, being that it's clear of any technical Isser of Lifnei Iver, we then have to measure it versus not marrying them off and having them live together in a prohibited manner without Kiddushin. Since they're going to be together anyways, we might as well lessen the amount of Isser in their intimacy and at least marry them off. Practically, halacha l'maaseh. Anyone who receives a request from a non-religious couple to officiate at their wedding, then he is to sit down with them and explain to them the importance of Taharas Hamishpacha and get them to agree at the very least that for the night of the wedding she will follow through the halachas and immerse in a mikveh. And if not, then they should not be involved in this wedding at all. Likewise, one is to explain to the couple that in the event of a divorce, they are obligated to go through the halachic process of giving a get, in order to do whatever is possible to prevent a situation that she will separate from him and be with others before receiving a get and transgress Eshes Ish and proliferate the mamzerim population. In all cases, a question and doubt, one is to speak to a Rav Meir Heira, who is an expert in this field of halacha.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.